All right, we are here with Urshurber, 4 mana 3/3. It's a squirrel. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you get a Chitter Spitter. This card exists for real as well. And it reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, sack a token, and then you can put an acorn counter on this. And then squirrels you control get bigger for each acorn counter on this. And then you can pay 1 green to make the squirrel that you either sacrifice or have a giant squirrel. So you can have multiples because it's not a legendary if your commander dies repeatedly or something like that. And whenever one or more squirrels you control deal combat damage to a player, you may sack a token and put an acorn counter on each Chitter Spitter. So it basically speeds up the process of doing that. It does probably mean you need more ways to create tokens, but as it stands, I don't know how crucial that is, so I'm not really doing that. But I do have a lot of cards in my deck that are squirrels, which is kind of interesting. This creates squirrel tokens. There's not a lot of options. I think there's actually a few that I'm just not running of squirrels. I'm not going to filter by it, but this seems like the best of the bunch. This actually, I wouldn't really run this if it didn't give the menace part. I think the menace portion is the ideal thing because I'm trying to, poke my opponent with a squirrel to get the Chitter Spitter to become scarier. This seems a bit vulnerable. The Chitter Spitter could blow up and then your commander is useless, right? So that's kind of weird. I am running cheat deaths and things, so if it gets killed, like feign death, if it goes to die, or goes to graveyard, I can bring it back, and that seems interesting, but again, like, my opponent might just ignore it, and then kill the artifact, and then suddenly I have a 3/3 that doesn't do anything until it dies, right? So, kind of weird, but I do have things that sacrifice my own creatures in here, so if Chitter Spitter does die, I can maybe actually kill my own commander, so I can then recast it. Kind of not great, but that's just where it is. I have some proliferate cards in here, so I can make more acorn counters faster. I have some a little weird, mostly just Nashi is a weird one, 3 mana black cards, because Dark Ritual scams are a thing, and they're just becoming more and more of a thing, so just in any black deck, probably could just make room for Dark Ritual, and then a consistent degree of black 3-drops to go with it for turn 1 degeneracy. Some card draw, removal, and yeah, that's about it. Craterhoof's in here so I can actually win with a giant army of squirrel tokens, assuming that that's not good enough on its own, which I'm kind of skeptical about. Toski is also just kind of weird, but it is indestructible, and it's annoying sometimes, but sometimes it's completely irrelevant. I don't know how go wide or go tall this really will wind up being, but let's find out. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, I broke 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not sure if I already said that, but it officially showed up on my channel now. So thank you for the Magic community for that. And let's keep growing. Let's become the million. Our next goal is 2 million subscribers. Yeah, lead on Grazer, for sure. This is a 2-drop, it doesn't have flash or anything. Stoneforge Mystic. That's probably just better than their commander, actually. Target equipment. It kind of is. Commander doesn't do anything without an equipment. Stoneforge gets the best one in your deck. Yeah, if you could put Stoneforge in your command zone, you probably would instead of Frodo. How do you not take... Okay, they didn't take what I thought they would. That's interesting. I don't have to worry about anything happening right now. So I guess I just cultivate. Because I can take the time to do it. That's probably a good idea. Because again, they're not really doing anything crazy right now. I don't know why they didn't get Colossus Hammer. I feel like that would have been the right thing to do. Now what? I can forage with a third card in the graveyard, so I will. I suppose I'll just get my wheels spinning here. I don't think I want to leave up a removal spell. Saram does draw, but like I don't think I'm gonna concern myself too much with that. It's only when you cast them. You can't just Stoneforge them in. So it's kind of awkward. Saram just looks weird right now. There we go. No lands. Sure. Play out the old Squirrel Tutorer. Make a Squirrel token, and I suppose I can swing with this. They have protection from black whenever they want it too, so I feel like I'm not convinced I have to kill anything until it starts swinging at me, so. It's weird sacrificing my squirrels to make squirrels bigger. This is kind of like the antithesis of what I should be doing. You know what? No. We're just gonna chump it. I'm not gonna... Did I even have to do that? Yeah, I might as well, honestly. Black market is excellent. I don't think I'm gonna tutor for anything. I think I'm just gonna swing with this, and that can't block. Alright, that's fine. I really want to... There's just no way this... Like, how is this... Never mind. I can do both. I can do both. I forgot I had a Menadork. For some reason I thought it was a random squirrel. Never mind. Alright, I guess I have access to both. You made a stream finally? I don't know who you are, but congratulations, I guess. Alright, so that has protection from green. I assume it was already in hand, because they didn't go get it with the Stoneforge Mystic. They, for some reason, didn't equip their second sword that lets me... what? I feel like I should let myself get hit by this. I'm gonna just let myself get hit by... I'm not scared about the text on this sword. It's not a very scary one. Neither really is the blue-green one, honestly. It's extremely unlikely they find a spell to immediately cast. They just didn't find one. Look at that. Snickerdoodle with the sub. Thank you, thank you. And there it goes. There it goes. My entire commander's game plan just flew out the window. Isn't that great? Now it has to die. So Chatterfang is probably the best. I mean, this gives menace. Maybe... Is my opponent just dead if I get... No, because I lost my squirrel. This is scary, but not, like, immediately scary. But neither is Chatterfang. I guess I'm taking Toski. Oh, look, I just drew it anyways. Look at that. Not really convinced I have to... Yeah, this is fine. Making a bunch is better than one giant squirrel, yeah. Well, I'm struggling to do either thing, honestly. severely struggling. We will sack that thing, because we have a colorless creature to block SRAM. What does this do? Flying, can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. Equipped creature has flying, can't lose, can't win. Okay, so this has... it itself does, not when it's equipped. Sure. That can just lose me the game, because I... Alright, we did it. That's a strange, strange commander. So, Llanowar Elves or Delighted Halfling? Probably Llanowar Elves. Yeah. I guess, you know what? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know the last time I've seen it disenchant. I don't even know. Couldn't tell you. Maybe I take a turn off and just play more other thingy-wingies? Feels stupid, though. So, Dark Ritual... Grave Pact. I'm just doing it. You can't stop me. I really want this card to exist for myself right now, so I'm going to make that a reality. If they don't answer it, I can just keep them off the board unless they kill my creatures, which they might not want to. And I do not have forage until I crack this fetch land. Oh no! No! Oh! There goes my graveyard. There goes my graveyard. That is tragic. Alright, well, at least I found an answer. Somewhat of the tragedy was avoided. Somewhat of the tragedy. Oh, I could have hit the surveil land and always surveilled the card I found on top. So I guess it wasn't like... I still could have cast my commander, actually. I kind of really want this land, but I also maybe don't care. Because I have 5 mana that my opponent might not ever interact with. What is that? Opponent discards. Whenever discards one or more, investigate. Okay. I guess I'll get rid of... Sage? I don't actually know. Is Sage good here? I'm going to get rid of Sage because I feel as though proliferating a Chatterfang is a stupid idea. So I'm just going to get rid of that card. Quit while I'm ahead. I have 2 forests. This is not enough. I guess I'll just get a gate. Not opposed to that. Run this out. Unless they have a consistent way to make me discard, I don't feel too concerned about this, right? It doesn't itself make me discard, so I don't see this strategy as something that discard spams. Alright, Grave Pact. Time to be dumb. That's an exile effect. Gets around Grave Pact. There's no reason to block that. Wait, what? Alright, I guess your own cards count. Sure, I didn't think that was going to happen, but yeah, well, it found a way. Let's kill that rat there. Okay, let's make a squirrel and then sack it to Deadly Dispute. Feels a little bit better than anything else I can do. My opponent can very easily collect evidence, mind you. This is an interesting time for this card. I think I'm more interested in this and then leaving up my removal spell for their commander. That's probably better. Also, maybe not. Who knows? They're not casting their commander. They could have cast their commander and just done the thing. The thing it does is not that insane, though, but... Sure. Just cracking clue tokens. Crazy. I will crack my treasure. I will do degenerate things. I will draw removal. I will neglect my commander? You know what? No. We came here to do this. We're doing it. Came here to do it. And I now have... How much mana do I have? I have 2? Okay, so I can make squirrels. Okay. At least in a spot like this, killing my commander isn't that exciting for them, which is a good sign. Sort of goes both ways, though. Because their commander's not that exciting to kill either. They did not have to do that to cast it, so this is a 7-drop. And it's the best card in the game. Yeah, they just have Casualties of War. Of course they do. Why not? They didn't kill Underworld Connections, though, so I guess I should consider myself lucky. I'm so far ahead, this might not be too much of a tragedy. I don't think I'm going to make more 3/2s. I guess I can make one more. I can make one more before I feel, like, terrible about it. This was a phenomenal draw, I think. Yeah, of course it is. That was a good draw. I have now a bunch of food tokens that are pretty scary. The gold card in my hand, it's a 5-mana 2/2 that makes 2 squirrels and then gives them menace later, is what it is. Go for the Throat doesn't work because all their creatures are artifacts, because Ygra, which is kind of funny. I will just kill it with this then. I can probably go to 2 and not feel bad about it. Excuse me, go to 4. Yeah. I don't think I can kill them, but it's close. But I don't think I can. Yeah, it looks like I can. I can only kill one of these, so... They can recast their commander, but I'm getting close to Craterhoof Behemoth at this point, so that might not really matter. I think I'm gonna just eat this here. I can play this and still leave up Go for the Throat, but again, I can't actually cast it, so... I think they need more than their commander to survive, so hopefully they just cast it. That is not... Wait, what? Okay, so Desperation looking for something? See, oh, they found Grave Titan. Sure. Can they cast it? They can. That's literally the exact same as casting their commander, so I don't care. That is not enough. That is not enough. 13, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay. Oh, I forgot to make a... Whoops. I forgot to make a squirrel token. My bad. It's alright. I think I... Yeah, it doesn't matter. 2 of my creatures have to get tapped? That's not right. That's not right. There we go. Alright, now we win. Yeah. That is way too much. Okay, I took out a bunch of squirrel things to add token doublers so I can have a consistent amount of squirrels, and also other things that create tokens that aren't squirrels, because they still count for everything I'm doing between these 2 cards. You don't have to sacrifice a squirrel specifically. Token strategies are not that exciting. They're kind of on the weaker end of things. Also incredibly vulnerable, but I mean that's what makes it on the weaker end of things. But I'm gonna try it. Presence of Gond is interesting. Just making 1 token every turn. It doesn't have to be a squirrel. And then I just have my token. Same with Bitter Blossom and whatnot, right? Tendershoot Dryad. So let us try that. Taking out a bunch of squirrels that don't actually do anything. I don't know if they always play this, though. I don't think they do. I wonder if they remember me. Probably not. I used to play against Jeff Hoogland a lot when I played standard. Competitive, sweaty standard. I used to see him a lot. You just don't see him anymore. Because I don't think he plays this format. Don't think he plays this format. Unfortunate. No use for my Llanowar Elves. Still a card that exists, though. Yeah, I don't know what arena means, but I don't like it. Dark Ritual. Great. Is the game over before it started? Not necessarily. That's one of the less scary ones, I think. Still, you know, really good, but not, it doesn't just win the game. This is a fetch land for my Commander's Forage. I'd just rather not draw it, but I don't know. I think I need to do that. I think I just, like, literally need to do that. Yep. Looks like Chitter Spitter was on the top of my deck just now. Look at that. Triple fetch land for our commander. Look at that. Did I actually triple fetch land? Oh, I guess I really did, huh? Wow. That's nuts. No pun intended, by the way. I won't even be upset if this dies. I don't even care. It died. Look at that. And I drew a card off it. Excellent. I got more than I bargained for. Oh, look, and then I drew that card. Alright, well, I had basically the best curve ever, and I got all of it a turn faster because Llanowar Elves survived. Alright. They gave me an artifact and a creature for Casualties of War, by the way. So those both don't do anything. Yep, I just completely cyberbullied my opponent. I just cyberbullied him. There's just no coming out of this. Llanowar Elves just let all... I mean, even if I didn't have Llanowar Elves, all of this was going to happen. Just, it happened a turn faster, which is obviously extremely disgusting. I don't think our commander mattered there. I don't think so. Okay, this is the first time I've ever played against Jegantha. I have never seen Jegantha in the command zone. So I assume it's just generic 5-color, like, value pile that their commander doesn't matter. This hand is questionable, but I do have a way to make a food. I really want to play Chatterfang before I play Gilded Goose, so I get a squirrel token with my food. Maybe that's too cute. I don't know, we'll see how it pans out. Doop, 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 doop. We drew Ygra once again. Can't seem to stop ourselves. I don't know what universe I don't cast these next turn. Yeah, I don't think I'm casting Chatterfang next turn. I would like to, but I don't know if that's worth it. Feels like that's just the antithesis of what I should really be trying to do. This must be some kind of combo deck. I just don't know what that combo is, but I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe I should keep the pressure and just play this? Maybe I should. I don't know. I feel like if I don't cast it now, it's just like it's never gonna get down. This must be a Charbelcher deck? It's looking like some kind of Charbelcher deck. Yeah, so it's just Charbelcher? Maybe, maybe. There's some black spells that you wish you could cast, but you can't because they can't have double black here. Mind you, I've never seen anything like this, and I'm kind of just winging assumptions here. I'm just kind of taking guesses. But I'm getting the vibe that this is some sort of Charbelcher deck. And you can't play, like, Grim Tutor, which is the weird... It can't play a lot of the black tutors, which is unusual. And makes me think that it may not be. Alright, I didn't draw land, so... I also named green with this. Maybe now I'm feeling dumb about that. And... swingies? Yep, alright. My opponent has basically... It doesn't seem like they interact that much, and it's just race against beatdowns. So maybe Chatterfang was the right play, so I could just try to kill my opponent as fast as possible. Am I not understanding something? Oh, right. It's not a companion. It's not a companion. You can just do whatever. Never mind. You can just do whatever. It's not a companion. Okay, probably the right thing to do is forage the food actually here, so it doesn't get blown up by some weird stuff. Still giving, again, my opponent ample time. Squirrels, let's go. Yeah, we're going somewhere, and it looks like the graveyard. I don't know, we'll see. They can simply play this, and then they have a 5-5, and I don't have a way to... Well, I guess I got Menace, actually. I guess I have Menace. Alright, so they found the card that they used to win. I can counteract that with something like... Let's see, I have 4 mana. I highly doubt I'm going to get what I need from simply... Oh, wait a minute. No, we want Archdruid's Charm, right? An instant speed way to deal with Charbelcher. I really think this is a Charbelcher. I'm super convinced of that. Alright, naming green with Utopia Sprawl was the correct thing. Don't listen to me. Don't you dare mill me. Don't you dare do it. Alright, sure. I could be wrong. It could not be, it could also, you know, it might not be Charbelcher. But, I also don't even know if I can blow up Charbelcher and stop the trigger or the activation. I don't think that even works. So, I'm not sure. But either way, I wasn't killing my opponent with anything I could have put on top, and a discard spell wouldn't have done it. And I don't have, like, Heroic Intervention to give myself hexproof from a Charbelcher trigger. But it costs 4 to cast and 3 to activate, right? So they could have... no, they already have Dark Ritual cast, right? Did they cast Dark Ritual? No? Okay. Guess they could have that. Please be Charbelcher, and please cast it. It's Charbelcher? It's Charbelcher. It is Charbelcher, dude. No way. It's Charbelcher. Oh, I had the read. Oh, I had the read. That feels so good. We had the read. Neheb, this is the thing with stuff, right? Yeah, that's just the big red. It's just big old red. This hand is probably a hand that has cards in it, so. I almost want to not shock myself, but there's no way I don't play this on turn 1. Seems impossible. Okay, removal's interesting. I think I'm going to draw. I'm spending a lot of life here. It was kind of not ideal. Okay. Man, if I had an untapped land right now, this would have been an absolutely disgusting turn if I had one of the untapped lands. These two would have been atrocious. Oh, wait, whoa. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I can just do this. I now don't have to actually get rid of my card. Just keep it in play for whatever it's worth. Worn Power Stone? What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Come down. What are you doing over there? Alright. I haven't actually played Palantir yet. It's kind of nice. Do some forages. And then poke him for 1. Don't know if I'm making a squirrel in my upkeep. I probably am, but I'd almost prefer to, like, something like that with it. So I want the removal spell, so I'll let them just mill the land. Killing the Neheb multiple times is... Oh, okay. Or they just let me draw both. That works too. 6 mana on turn 3. Yep. Welcome to green. Sure. Do you have, like, a lightning bolt? You don't have anything. Alright. Let's make a squirrely squirrel. When it says, oops, I don't know what happened. Apologize, opponents, but I can't feel bad for you. I need wins. I need them. They kept their commander in the graveyard. Is that a good sign? I don't know what that means. I think what that means is I should play this. And I'm going to play this now in case they have some way to blow up all my creatures. I just don't know what I'm getting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh, wait. I know what I'm getting. As if I had choices. Okay, those can go away. Neheb does not come out of the graveyard in a red deck, so I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's irrelevant. It's just in that spot for like a goofy reason. I don't know. Okay. So they did end up blowing up my board, right? That's 6 to... Oh, they collect evidence. Oh, wow. There was a red card that dealt with my... Wow. Okay. Look at that. My opponent did the thing. That's impressive. Artifact, creature, land. They don't have an enchantment, right? Yeah. Boop, boop. And I suppose Arena to Glory because that's scary. Alright, let's set you back to the Stone Ages, my opponent. And let's continue to draw 2 cards a turn, because they've started to let me do that starting turn 1. Or whenever I played this. 3 turns ago. You get nothing from me, opponent. You get nothing. I have a squirrel I can make, so I'm gonna do this. I actually don't even want to plus this. I legit don't want to plus this. So maybe playing it was wrong. Maybe playing it was wrong. Probably was. I don't know. These are just priceless, right? Sure. It is Ward 2. I can't just kill it right now. Well, I couldn't anyways. Alright. It gives me something to do with this Liliana. Can safely play this? Maybe? Alright, the squirrels are a squirrelin'. They're definitely squirreling. My opponent is basically dead next turn. Because I make too many squirrel tokens. Man, that is a lot of lands. This Palantir has dodged a lot of lands. And I've had all the removal to keep them off the board. Yeah, it's a complete nightmare scenario for my opponent. Turn 1, Delighted Halfling against a mono blue deck is usually an auto win. Let's see if it happens here. No, maybe not. Alright, play that. What? Okay. I guess you have to do stuff like that? Yeah, I guess you don't have a choice, huh? I'd rather this get countered than the Birds of Paradise. Does that make sense? I feel like it doesn't. I don't know. That's what I did. Maybe it just doesn't matter which one I choose. I do not have Forage, so I can't really... They actually do bounce it. They do bounce this card. But I can't cast my commander anyways. I can't Forage. So it doesn't have any use. And I also don't have the cabins. Yep, my opponent was very threatened by Delighted Halfling, which I suppose makes sense. I guess I'm passing? No, I'm casting this now, so I can get Cavernous Souls. And my opponent can't do anything about it. Otherwise, they can counter it. Oh, I forgot to swing for 2. Whoops. Maybe I could have just played Yigro. Maybe I could have just done that instead of not doing that. It's very unlikely that my Rebirth does anything, so I'll just play land. It's just not likely to do anything. Okay. Just a... Yeah, I was about to say, that's a big oops. That's a big oof. Yikes. That's a big yikes. I want to keep this because of Sign in Blood, I think. Let's hope that Avacyn's Pilgrim was exceptionally important. Oh hey, it's Gravepact again. Can't cast it right now though. Looks like it kind of was exceptionally important. My opponent didn't cast their commander. I don't think I'm Dark Ritualing Gravepact with no creatures in play. So I'll just cast this. Fine to me. Gravepact is not the end-all be-all in a matchup like this, but it's still probably a must-answer threat. Probably. They did not cast their commander, fair enough. Sure, yep. I can cast my commander, and I guess I will. So if I Dark Ritual, I have 6 mana. I don't know if that pulls me in a direction I want to go. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to cast this. I think we're just going to send it. And I suppose I can attack, right? Yeah. I'm not going to trade, so... And I don't know if I'm going to upkeep... Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. This would be 7. How much of it is black? 4 of it is black, so I can't cast both of these. Yeah, I don't know if I have to make a squirrel in my upkeep. I don't think I will. I might wind up using that squirrel for Gravepact at some point. Okay, so how does this read? Whenever a player plays a land or casts a spell, counter on target creature and make a food. Alright, those 2 things are not very scary. I feel as though, given the situation, it's... Oh, no, they have... Never mind. The Alseid. Never mind. Can't do that. I was about to make a major mistake. Let's play you. And then I can tap this, add black here. But I think it's better to leave up this. Yeah, alright, so we'll just do nothing. Yeah, alright, I'm not casting my Utopia Sprawl. Okay. 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 Little spooky. I will try to kill the Alseid now. We'll do that. And then make a squirrel token. So now I have a Gravepact trigger every turn. I don't know if my opponent wanted to attack there. That was probably a huge mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. They should not have attacked. It's not the end of the world, but it still was a mistake, I think. They actually sack their commander. Wow. Alright, fair enough. That was a very good draw. Basically one of the best things I could have drawn. I don't know what I want to get, though. Terra Sunder? Yeah, we could just take a universal answer to something. That's fine. And I sack a squirrel. 1. Target that squirrel and sacrifice it. So then this dies. Alright, so now Grave Pact has completely taken over the game. I'm not going to sacrifice my squirrel. I don't need more acorn tokens, counters, or whatever. Opponent's just dead on board. I don't need to lose an attacker. Yeah. Rocco's a weird one. Surveil. Yeah, it really showed the power of the otter, yeah. We saw what it could do. Yeah. Alright, I'll get rid of that. There's an argument to maybe not, but I guess it's fine. I should probably, like, play Palantir on turn 2 and not actually my thing there. Alright, found a squirrel. Wayfarer's Bauble. Whoa! This is a 5-color deck. You don't have to play non-green ramp opponent. It's okay to play other cards. That's very weird. Alright. I can clear the way if they have a creature. And I would love them to commit removal so they don't crack the Wayfarer's Bauble this turn. That's also just very good. But they should do their best to not get hit by this, because it is the Ragavan. It's the 3-mana Ragavan. That is very scary. I should play this as a commander. I don't think I've done that before. I don't think you can ninjutsu from your command zone, so you just sort of have to play it honestly. But that's probably fine. I've come to appreciate this card. Yep, they have to just deal with it. Otherwise, they just kind of lose to it. So I can play my commander and then not do much else. I guess that's what I'm here for, so I will. I will keep the food token for my Chitter Spitter next turn. I can just sack the food, because I can't forage on Chitter Spitter. They'll never really stick their commander, but they probably don't have to, because it's just 5-color like pile of good cards. That's it. Is this Fatal Push? It's not Fatal Push. They just chose to do that. Okay, fair enough. Tendershoot Dryad. Oh no, I'd have to sack my... Oh yeah, that's not happening. Alright, so let's play this. Find a land. Sure. Just because their commander doesn't... Yeah, this is fine. Their commander does not do anything when it enters. I can get away with this, I think. Make a squirrel. And then play this. That's fine. This is a little, maybe, too vulnerable. A little too vulnerable, but I mean, I don't know. I get to sack the token at least. But I could have maybe played Palantir. It dodges Farewell. I haven't seen Farewell yet. It's been 2 hours. Looks like it's not Farewell. Alright, yeah, so we did run a little deep into a sweeper, but that, again, not too big of a deal, honestly. Not too big of a deal. Ooh, maybe I wanted to shock myself. I don't know how important a single squirrel token would have been, but I probably could have paid 2 life to make one. Probably could have got away with that. Okay, another answer, sure. Weird card, but... Nope. Yeah, we said. Okay, so... There's no reason to hold on to Dark Ritual, right? But does it let me cast anything? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana, this is 9 in total, so I can't cast them both anyways? Kind of tragic. Kind of tragic. Alright. Guess I'll just do this. Well, I don't want either of the... Malakir Rebirth is actually kind of fine. Maybe they let me keep it, maybe they don't. But it's fine to just draw. Alright, it's no big deal. This way I can just discard as well. I can just simply discard the Dark Ritual. It's not like I need it. Yet another card that is not their commander. Fascinating. What does this do when it flips? Is all colors when it attacks? Alright, so I basically have to kill it. Let's use this one. I misclicked. I used the wrong removal spell. I can't kill this. It's a dragon. I wanted to cast this on Golos. I completely messed that up. That's my bad. That is absolutely my bad. Whoops. I really didn't want to do that. Well, I'm here now, I guess. Casualties of War is nuts. It's so good, I will try to deny my opponent's ability to mill it. Alright, looks like I potentially undid a disaster. This is an enchantment still, right? Yeah. So I get to hit 2 creatures if they cast another one. That is, again, not their commander, but they can still cast it. Choose an artifact, creature, and instant. Alright, so it's a very, very good thing I kept the land on top. It was a profoundly... A Siege Rhino? Whoa, that's deep. I love it. I love it. Alright. That's nuts. That's a Siege Rhino, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so wait, hold on, let's slow down. Creature in land enchantment. I'm the only one with an artifact. Land enchantment creature. So that has to die. Oh, whoa, hold on, that's the enchantment. Hold on, I can do it right. Just give me time. I suppose I'll kill that then. Enchantment and then the World Tree so they don't have all their colors perfectly. And swing. These are squirrels, by the way, because Black Market Connections just does that. I already played my land? Oh, I drew a land for the turn. Okay, I gotcha. Liliana is not as good as another card. It's kind of weird to now let me mill. That's usually backwards when people do that. Should mill the first time, not like preceding times. Alright. Not sure my opponent has what it takes to get out of this at this point, but maybe they do. I don't think so, though. Can sack a fresh squirrel token. They're basically... They have to block with both here, I think. Yeah, good 5-color jank comes out next. I don't know, we'll find out. Yep, but they have to double block now, and then they're just dead unless they have another sweeper. Okay, so I really liked this commander after the first 30 minutes. I lost like 6 games in a row, and it was suffering. Those River's Rebukes for days. Someone cast Disenchant. They just disenchanted. They disenchanted the Chitter Spitter, and then my commander was sitting there doing nothing. It was just a squirrel. It was a 3/3. It didn't do anything. So that was kind of unfortunate, but I came back to the went back in the lab and came out with something that I think was, well, that I know was much better because I proceeded to basically win every game after I changed it. The token doublers are a bit slow. When it's like half a turn too slow, I think, is the average feeling I was getting from this. Doing everything it wants to do is like about a turn or so too slow for all that setup. But once you get going, you're pretty good. You know, you do start to win, and your opponent does need to answer multiple things. Sometimes they could just blow up the Chitter Spitter and leave you with your commander, but if they do that, your commander's still like there. You know, it didn't die, it still exists. But the fact that it's a squirrel doesn't really matter as much as the initial list I had, because I took out a lot of the quote-unquote squirrel synergies. They're not really that many anyways, but I did like this commander. Craterhoof Behemoth is a nice card to have to, if I do go wide in a weird situation where we're both staring at each other and my opponent is not already dead. To a wide board of mine, of smaller creatures, it just does win out of nowhere, but it could also just be something else that generates tokens. I don't think there's another Tendershoot Dryad. It would be weird to play... No, the 7-mana Tendershoot Dryad. I can't remember the name of it. Verdant Force? I think it's Verdant Force. How do I know that? Jeez. I have a library of like 14,000 cards. I've been playing Magic for way too long. Verdant Force is just another thing of that. But it's at 7 mana, and for 1 more mana, you would always prefer Craterhoof anyways. Like, you're never going to Archdruid's Charm a Verdant Force. Honestly, you'd probably just get Hornet Queen. You just play Hornet Queen. And Hornet Queen is just better in every way, right? You get 4 upfront tokens, and they actually have text on them. They fly and have Death Touch, so it's probably just better to get Hornet Queen in here. So you could just run that. Just thinking of ways to get tokens into play consistently. Grave Pact is just really good. It's just sometimes too slow to get into play, which sucks. But once it gets going, it is profoundly difficult to overcome for certain decks if they can't deal with it right. Just really, really good. I did find myself with not too many squirrels at any one moment, which is not really a surprise. I know there's a flashback card that makes a squirrel. It's like 1 mana, make a squirrel, and then flashback for 2, make a squirrel. I mean, it only matters if I'm doing the thing anyways, and I also can't use that early play to forage for the first time to get Chitter Spitter, because you have to forage to get it in the first place for some reason. It's kind of weird. I feel like this would have been totally fine if it did not have to forage. I don't get it. I really think it would have been totally fine if you did not have to forage. Fortunately, it's not a big deal to forage. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it really doesn't matter. You can sort of just do that for free and not have to run a bunch of cards that mill you or make food. If you did, this card it would be worse, right? If you had to sack 2 foods or exile 6 cards, it would be unplayable. The bottom part is weird because you have to sacrifice what I was initially doing, which was squirrels, to make your squirrels bigger. Makes absolutely no sense. So I ended up running more things that make multiple squirrels, like, you know, what is it? A doubling season, or simply running things that make other kinds of tokens, because it doesn't care if it's a squirrel token or not. So that's good. If it did, you're screwed, because there's not enough ways to make squirrel tokens anyways. So it's got the green 1 mana opener nonsense it always has access to, right? Just, you have green, so you have all those. Not much to say about that. The removal was fine. The card draw kept me in games. I was initially only running this card because I wanted a way to consistently forage, so I could just sort of mill while also playing a really good card draw engine. However, it just winds up that this card is just really good, and you don't... If you're foraging because of this, your opponent's dying, so that didn't end up mattering, but it's still just a really good card, right? I'm not too big on the One Ring, usually. It just leads to weird games like I've seen the One Ring play pattern so many times. I'm kind of just burnt out of playing the One Ring, but you could obviously insert the One Ring in every single commander you see me play, because it's just a disgustingly powerful card. It's so good. This has nothing to do with my commander, by the way, but I'm going to say it anyways. The One Ring is like so good. Even though it is nerfed, I think it's still just so good that I'm surprised it isn't banned. I don't know if it's banned in regular EDH. I don't think it is, but it's weird because the EDH committee was like scared of the Elesh Norn, the 5-mana Elesh Norn that disables like ETBs and doubles yours. Like, oh, this is gonna break the format. But it's a mono white, which is kind of like one of the worst things you could do. And B, the One Ring exists. That was just a weird thing. So I don't know the assessment there. But everything stronger than Elesh Norn exists in this game. In fact, the strongest things are kind of the most prolific things in this format. Llanowar Elves is more powerful than a 5-mana Elesh Norn that doubles ETBs. So I don't understand that logic. I mean, this is 2-player, not 4-player, but I would still make the argument Llanowar Elves is stronger than Elesh Norn. Sol Ring is stronger than Elesh Norn by a landslide, right? I mean, shoot, isn't it? I think it's restricted in Vintage. I just don't understand the logic. But anyways, back to this. The removal package was fine. Chitter Spitter is just a weird card, but maybe I could have dabbled a little bit more into treasures. But again, once I changed the deck around that one time, like what was it, 90 minutes ago or some such, it felt like I was winning most of my games. So looking at it just on paper, like sitting in front of me like this, it feels like it's not a functioning deck, but then when you start to play it, it actually does things, and it's kind of cool. I like that. And I like token strategies. I love Tendershoot Dryad. It just, you know, you're vulnerable to the same thing all token strategies are vulnerable to, which is board wipes. Or them just having like 3 or 2 giant creatures and you're sacking a bunch of tokens to attack, or you're just chump blocking all day and your tokens look stupid, right? So singleton token strategies have to be like obscenely quick, very powerful, very fast, and that's just not the case here. We're not even really trying to do that anyways, because you would just play Chatterfang in the command zone instead, and we just weren't doing that. But there is somewhat of an argument that this exact list, as it stands, would just be better with Chatterfang here. I don't know if that's really true, but there's an argument to it, and you just swap these 2 cards, and the deck probably gets better. The squirrels don't necessarily get larger anymore, but you can make a lot more squirrels. But I don't know. It would probably involve changing a few cards in this, so you have slightly more ways to make any kind of token, specifically for Chatterfang, than you are for the 1 upkeep trigger of Chitter Spitter. So I don't know. That's why I'm saying if it was the exact same list, I don't know if Chatterfang would be better. So they are in that you know, they are therefore different enough that like you don't feel like you're just playing Chatterfang again. But if you like Chatterfang, you'll probably like this. Like, this card is weird, but it works really well with the commander, I think. It's just like, you know, look at this card. Look at it. Just stare at it. Why are we running this? You know, any deck that's running a card like this is like, oh man, you know, you have to think about everything your opponents are doing, and you're doing this. You're not on the same power level, right? Like, you're really not. But, you know, it plays nicely into what you're doing, I guess. But it just looks weird. Yigra is Yigra. Every time it was in play, it was excellent. Every time it wasn't, I don't know, because it wasn't in play. And, yeah, I liked it. I can recommend it. It's got the green ramp nonsense. It could go a little more into that if it wanted to. It could run slightly more ramp spells on turn 2 and turn 3, so maybe this comes into play even more consistently with the foraging of exiling 3 cards instead of relying on putting 3 cards in my graveyard from removal spells alone, kind of. Well, for the most part, right? So, but again, I didn't necessarily have an issue getting the forage going. So, let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for 1,000 subs.